Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Today I have a special guest hailing from my hometown of Mamou. His name is Tommy Gann. He's a small business owner. He's a Saints author and historian. He's done local radio shows in Evangeline Parish and also newspaper articles. He follows the Saints past, present, and he might give us some future insight. Mr. Tommy Gann.
Good afternoon. One of the questions that before Sean Payton took over the Saints was Bill Parcells asked, why didn't the Saints ever win or ever get to a Super Bowl? And part of the problem was they never drafted well. You know, you build up a team and you hope that that team will produce good players. And in the past, even when the Saints drafted high, they were unable to get the local players, even though you had players from LSU that were waiting to be picked up, they did not. And that was part of the problem. Another part is they had a horrible owner. And he always seemed to stick his hand in the cookie jar, and making money was more important than winning games. Dave Dixon in 1963 tried to get the then Dallas Texans of the AFL to come to New Orleans, and because of something that came up, they didn't, and they moved to Kansas City. Had New Orleans been able to secure the Dallas Texans franchise, the New Orleans team would have been to 2 of the first 4 Super Bowls and have won the 4th Super Bowl that was in New Orleans with the AFL, from the AFL conference. They decided at the last second to pull out, or for whatever reason, Dave Dixon in his book claimed that he messed up at the time, and New Orleans would get a franchise in 1966 on All Saints Day. The Saints presently have encountered a lot of problems with the bounty, and their future does not appear to be very good. But I think the defense will come around. They have a new system they're working on, and I believe that they're gonna turn this around, and probably won't be able to win the division, because NFC South, nobody's ever won the division 2 seasons in a row. I think the Saints really have a tough game coming up on Sunday against the Chiefs. I think they're gonna hopefully be able to turn around their season, because if they lose this game, they're gonna really be in trouble. Over the years, what's helped the Saints reach up to this level where they've made the playoffs is because they've drafted well. And a lot of people were kind of down on Reggie Bush, but when the Saints got him, they were able to create a lot of mismatch problems for the teams, for the opponents, and even today, Darren Sproles has adopted that role and helped the Saints gain greater heights. The Saints are going to be without a 2nd-round pick in next year's draft because of the bounty situation, which still needs to be resolved. They're hoping to get back and prove that they won't be lose any more draft picks because of the situation, and it's a he said, she said on what happens in the future. But I think the Saints can turn it around. I think they've really, the defense is going to get a little bit better. They're tackling, they're going to learn the system better, and they're going to come along. One of the big reasons that the Saints are having trouble with the personnel is because with the salary cap and having to re-sign Drew Brees to that big contract, they were unable to keep the guard Carl Mix If you notice, they have a lot of defensive pressure on the inside, and they lost Robert Meacham, who has gone on to San Diego and is a deep threat. And with the injuries the Saints have to the wide receivers, is kind of depleted that problem, forcing Brees to hold the ball a little bit longer and causing him to get sacked and throw up the ball when he shouldn't have to. I think Goodell's going to dig in his heels. I think he's going to still try to suspend Vilma for the rest of the year. He has an affidavit from Greg Williams and Mike Cirillo, the whistleblower, and Vilma has 9 affidavits and wants to bring Greg Williams to court to make him testify that he was bullied by the NFL into signing an agreement of the bounty system. But that remains to be seen what'll happen. That it can go either way in the court system. But I think the Saints I think they're going to right their ship. Before the season started, I thought they'd go 9-7, and everybody got excited. They thought the defense would have been real good. It hasn't quite turned out like that yet, and it's possible that as the season goes on, once the defensive players learn the system, they're going to get better.
Get reinstated, or?
The coaches don't have a union. Had the coaches had a union, he probably would have been reinstated. They kind of caught everybody by surprise. They pulled them in the room and said, this is what is happening, before they even had time to know what was going on. They have bounties across the league. Football from a long time ago, they tackle them on the benches. They do that because of the concussions that have been occurred over the years. All of a sudden, these football players see this guy's making $10 million. I just make $250,000, so I want to get my money. So that's basically what it is. Their pension plan, which has gotten better over the years, is not as good as baseball's. Baseball has the best pension plan. Of course, the fella in jail, O.J. Simpson's making $250,000 a year, which is not too shabby.